What's good, superstars? Back with another VV video. You got Superstar Joe. You got Superstar Rob in the building. How's it going, Rob?
Pretty good, you.
Over the top. Those are too quick. Those hands are too quick. Guys, if you're new here, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification so you know whenever we post. You can also become a superstar VIP for $2.99 a month. Hit the join button underneath the video. Get a nice star next to your name. Star in the universe. I don't know what's going on. I ordered those stars. We're waiting on them. They're backed up. I mean, they probably had to go really, really far into the galaxy to get them, but they're definitely coming through. Also, access to our drop spreadsheets, our price prediction spreadsheets, first dibs on merch whenever that comes out again. I know some people were asking. I think I might have a couple hats somewhere tucked away, but we'll have to look into that for you guys.
We have lots of shirts, though.
Oh, yeah. We definitely have to get those shirts again.
We got to start selling those shirts.
Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. If you want to follow us, we also have a Discord. If you want to continue the conversation, it's a fun time over there. It's out of control at times, I would say. That's in the description as well. And there's a P.O. box if you want to send us something, become a Superstar Hall of Famer. Shout out to all of the VIP members who continue to support us like crazy. You guys are incredible, and you keep us going every single day, and we will not stop because of that.
How many days have we gone consecutive that we see the 3 pages of the VIP memberships? And I'm pretty sure it's not just 3 pages, the same number of columns every time. So thank you to the VIPs. You guys are amazing.
We've passed 500 videos. I didn't know. I like the other day. I was like, oh, wow, we passed 500.
Wow, we're halfway to 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, who knows where we're going to be and what we'll be covering at that point. Hopefully it's still VV stuff. But anyway, let me pull up the VV Twitter here.
All right, what do you got today in today's news? I didn't do it yesterday. We did SoRare video yesterday, so if you guys haven't, check it out. Little tips on SoRare data. But yeah, what do you got here?
So we had the first appearance of the Rocket the Raccoon. That went yesterday. Sorry, and I don't know, another comic drop that it was 10K editions on that one. I did not go for that. Yeah. But we do have the new one coming up that's 5K editions. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that, but the 5K is definitely the right number, I think, for comics in today's day and age.
There are some updates that happened. I mean, it was tough for people to buy the Soul Stone from the market because you would click it and it would just bring you to the crafting page.
That's right. That's what happened to me. Actually, I was able to get it. So when I first went to go buy it on my app, I found that it wasn't working. Like, it was bringing me to the crafting page. So I'm like, I wonder if this is. I knew people were buying it though because some of them were disappearing off the market. So I had a feeling that probably when they fix this, the price should go up. Because all these people, they try to buy it, doesn't work, they just walk away. So I went on my web app. Sure enough, I bought it. I got it for 7 gems. It didn't pump too much. I think it's only at 9 gems now, but it was annoying at first. Like, I went on my phone. I'm like, let me go buy this. Oh, there's one for 7 gems, but I couldn't buy it.
Yeah, it was the web app and Android exclusive, I think they called it, because you couldn't buy it on the iPhone. Yeah. So that was that. Then there was these numbers that came out. They were talking about who got burnt. Actually, the first one is the one that I did burn. I burnt the least rare group.
Which? Oh, yeah.
The holiday group, Merry
That's
Group
right.
Miss. That's the one that I ended up burning. The rest I sold, actually, because they were like triple what I bought them for. So
for sure.
Sold them for gems.
Yeah, why not? It can fund your whatever you're going to buy now. It could fund your Luke Skywalker. Exactly.
We got some pretty sad news, actually, yesterday as well, is the passing of Frank Kozik, who he was at Decon. He's a prominent artist. He had big visions for his stuff on the VV app. I know that he was really, really adamant about trying to get some lab breeding early on. And I remember being in a spaces where basically they were saying, yo, this is kind of a difficult thing. It's not as easy as you might think. And he was saying how that's just something that he had envisioned. And people were kind of giving him heck that he wanted to do this. And they were almost like accusing him of pumping his bags because he was saying breeding would come, but then Vivi's like, no, we can't do it, or it was too hard for them to do it at the time.
I remember that.
But I remember siding with him, and I was like, you know what? Like, he's just looking as a visionary as how he wants to bring this space forward and just coming up with ideas. And I think we need more of that. I think we need a lot of the creators of the content on Vivi to come out with these ideas. I mean, we saw Illazillas had a bunch of ideas. They went out and tried to do their own drop as well. Collabing with some other celebrities. I think it's something that Vivi could do. Listen to their creators there, because these guys they're artists. They're very creative minded, and they can come up with ideas. I think that will really help push the app.
Yeah, and Frank Kozik is obviously well known in the Vivi community. I mean, I didn't know about him until I started with Vivi, and in the art community, he's a legend. So I mean, it's sad to see. Definitely was unexpected. I remember the way that he was talking on the last spaces with Frank Kozik and Veve, which actually got kind of heated, right? It was actually a little bit heated between Veve and Frank Kozik because of the whole situation with the breeding. I think he was like pretty upset about the whole situation. But he was still a legend in the Veve community for the things that he put out. And obviously I think David had a good relationship with him. So, I mean, he will probably, the things that he did for the Veve community will be remembered forever. And then his digital collectibles will last forever. They do not tarnish. They do not get destroyed. So that stuff will always be around for decades to come.
Yep. Exactly. So, I mean, it's definitely a sad loss. There's a bunch of people who are doing a lot of memorial AR photos, which is cool. Like, it's a cool use of the Veve app. You are able to use them in AR or in your showroom. And shout out to Mr. Falcon for putting this one together.
Yeah,
kind of showing, I guess the robot ones going into the space.
Yeah, sick.
So really, really cool to see.
That's a great shot. It's a great shot. Okay.
Patrick Hughes, the 101 is available for silent auction until Friday. So if you want to win the physical, you got to win the digital on the auction, and then they'll send you the physical.
That should do pretty well, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It's different. It's different than we're used to. Yeah. Then we got that other comic book that's coming, first appearance of Franklin Richards and birth of Franklin Richards.
Yeah.
And Fantastic Four annual number 6. So I really like the Ultra Rare, which is another Nicoletta Baldar cover.
Yeah, she knows her colors.
Exactly. And then we get a refresh of the Infinity Stones, just reminding everybody we are within that 48 hours, I think. It's Saturday, or no, it's within 3 days. So they came out a little earlier. But we've already had this article, just reminding us Saturday, May 13th at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, will be the drop for the empty gauntlet.
Well, let's talk about this again. There's 6,300 of them, I think, in the mint numbers, but those are only 3,800 to be converted. So we were thinking that maybe the bots will take over, but I don't know. The more I think about it, you know there's only going to be 3,800 really interested buyers. So even if the bots buy more, they're going to have to shrivel up eventually. But you're going to have some nice latent supply holdbacks, because those who do want to convert, they're going to buy it and will never see the market because they're going to hold on to it. So I think it's kind of a tough one. It's probably going to hover somewhere around listed.
Yeah. Somebody put out a tweet today. They're like, do you think it will even sell out? If it doesn't,
it's actually a reasonable question.
That's a big problem if it doesn't sell out, though. I mean,
but it's a reasonable question because it comes back to utility. If utility governs, then only 3,800 people, and assuming that there is even 3,800 people, I think there's probably going to be less. They actually have the ability to craft in the first place. So what do you do with all those extra mints? You can't even craft with it. What do you do with it? Are you doing the play that you're buying it, assuming half of the stuff is going to get burnt and you're going to be left over with this empty gauntlet? I don't know. I think it's actually kind of a hard one to predict, just because you're going to have that supply holdback, which is going to help the price. But at the same time, once the only people who have the incentive to go and buy it are the people who are already going to hold it. So I think it's going to hit around listed. Something tells me it's not too far up. I actually wouldn't be surprised if it goes underlisted, just because there's so many extra beyond the 3,800 that you need.
Thing is, though, like what if you don't have the stones? Are you going for this drop? Because then, if everyone who doesn't have stones this is a funny way to say this. If you don't have the stones,
you know the stones.
And if you're not going for the are you not going for the job if you don't have the stones? Because then it won't sell out. It won't sell out. Like, the numbers don't add up. So
it's a good point. It's a good point, because who's going for this drop if you don't have the stones? I don't know. I'm not convinced. We're in a day and age where drops just don't sell out. And I feel like a lot of the people who go for drops day to day probably will go for it because they already have the stones.
And I'm not going to buy 2. I only have 1 set. Am I going to buy 2 of these? No. Why? Why would I go for 2?
What do you do with it? I don't know. I'm not sure an empty Infinity Gauntlet it's going to be that much. I don't think it's going to have much potential that compared to the one that's crafted that actually has the full stones.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. We have our Twitter we'll catch up on, but shout out to Chris Severs again for making it onto Go Collect, writing another great article. May the Phygital Fun Force be with you in honor of Star Wars. So definitely go check that out and give him some support. He's a big advocate of Veve, and he's on Twitter all the time, always shilling his special mints. So we always like to give a little bit of spotlight on some of those creators that maybe do a little bit of blogs, like Double Quill and Chris from time to time.
He loves to shill his mints. He
I love
buys
it.
them just so he can shill them on
I
Twitter.
learned from him. I learned what mints matter from Chris.
That's right. That's right.
It's great to see him. Cryptoys. So if your Holocron contains a Darth Vader collectible digital toy on May 24th, you'll get one of the 5 variants. Which one are you hoping for? And we've seen a detailed deep dive on these. They did a live stream about it. Now, the cool part is tomorrow they're doing another live stream about the Luke Skywalker, and they're going to go and they get into detail. They had the art team on. It's called Show and Tell, and they go through like all of the aspects of it. They explain why they did things, how they did a really, really cool way to do the announcements of the drops and understand like the thinking, the thought process behind it. It gets you hyped up.
Yeah, that you can really see the passion of the project behind that team, because that team, they have in-house artists. You can tell that they spend a lot of time developing these things. They become very proud of them. They're 3D works of art. So they really want to get out there with the community and just basically tell them what they think. So looking forward to that stream and see what they're going to come up with Luke.
Yeah, this should be a fun conversation. We retweeted that. This was cool here as well. Comics and Crypto is doing a gauntlet giveaway, the Lego one. So if you want that, all you got to do is like this tweet that we've retweeted. Follow Elite Comics 11, follow Comics and Crypto, and also follow them on Instagram, and then you will be entered. And it's worldwide, so it's not limited to US only, like Veve Cash Out.
Yeah, some serious Lego there.
This is cool too. This is another project as well that's out there. It's not an NFT project. It's just for fun, but it's by Niantic. It is called Peridot. There has been a collaboration between Peridot and Amazon Anywhere, which is another way that Amazon is trying to integrate into Anywhere, into the digital realm. So I downloaded the app. I wanted to try it out. I wanted to see if I had access to that Amazon thing, but I think right now they're only in US beta. So we do not have access to it, but you can see like where the option would be. There's like a marketplace where you can go buy stuff. But
these are not, they're basically Amazon exclusive on an Amazon marketplace.
Yeah. Well, these things are here. They're not, you can't buy and sell the actual guys. Like this is like a Tamagotchi. You get the game. When you get it, they let you pick between the eggs. One of the eggs hatches, and you get one of these guys, and you can pet them and you can feed them. It's like literally like a Tamagotchi. There's little, and it reminds you kind of like Pokemon Go as well, because there's little tasks and stuff that you can do. Yeah. But I had a lot of fun with it today. I think I'll try it for a little bit longer, but I want to see how it gets integrated into the space. And I like that it's by Niantic, who's a leader in AR technology. Like this thing, you should have seen how smooth it is. You can play fetch with this guy, and you throw the tennis ball, and it's bouncing off the walls in AR like perfectly. If you have a desk, he can jump up from the ground onto the desk. So it just gives you an idea of how smooth this stuff could get. It's like butter.
Niantic is definitely a leader. We've done some videos on some of their AR stuff, and it is insane, the games that they've put together. So it doesn't surprise me that Niantic was able to put this out. And on top of that, I remember even at my own work, they had like a Christmas card that they did through AR only, which was connected to Niantic. It was powered by Niantic. So I've seen and witnessed AR from their side. It is like insane. It is
they're the leaders.
Yeah,
they're the leaders for sure.
Big time.
It was fun. The only thing, my phone got super hot, so they got to figure that out.
Pokemon Go never dies, eh? That's exactly what used to happen in Pokemon Go too.
You walk around too, and this guy like runs in front of you. It was fun. I had a blast with it. So Foster, our buddy Foster, put out a fun tweet today. He said it's about 650 MCP points to hit master rank on Veve. How much do you think you would need to spend to get 650 daily points? So I replied to this actually incorrectly initially, but I did the math on it, and I said, listen, if you need 650 points and a rare comic gets you 2 points, that means that you need 325 rare comics, right? Yeah. So let's assume the average cost for a rare comic is
$10, though.
$10. You're looking at around 3,250 rare comics. Now, I don't think there's 325 comics on the app yet. Okay. So you might have to fill in the blanks there, but I think you're looking between.
Actually, you would have fooled me if you said there was. If you said there was 325, I'd believe you.
I don't think so.
It feels like there's a comic drop every like 3 a week, right?
Yeah. But if there is, I mean, that's your option. But it's looking like it's somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000 that you're gonna need to spend to get into that master collector if you're trying to get there from scratch at the most efficient rate.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we could do a video on that separately, but I don't know. I wouldn't really go for that right now. Like, if you did have $3,200 laying on the side, like I wouldn't really go for Veve's master collector program at this point, just because it's first of all not properly implemented. It's also like there's nothing you could do with it yet, even though there's promised utility with them. It doesn't actually exist, and until it exists, you don't know how long you gotta wait. So, anyway, that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do like we mentioned. Momentum investing is kind of our thing. So if they start to pick it up, we'll start to invest a little bit more. This one was pretty funny. So they had the gold Lambo, and these guys, they got the golden moments and C3PO. And he's like, I ordered the gold one, Iron Man.
Yeah, he's scratching his head. He's scratching his head there. Yeah,
the purple one's 30 gems though, so it's a little bit more affordable.
Yeah, at least I mean the purple one that's the uncommon, right?
Yeah, this is exactly. So shout out to Voodoo Crypto, really fun.
Yeah, good job.
And there's Rob's video from yesterday. So Rob, why don't we talk about the main topic here? We kind of touched on it earlier about the passing of Frank Kozik, and there's been a lot of drama on Twitter about people complaining about people who are selling into the pump from his death. And to me, I was like, this is just like something that's kind of normal when it comes to collecting. Now, I didn't have any Kozik stuff to sell into this pump or anything like that. You can dox my wallet all you want, but I mean, I don't really have a problem with the people who are selling into this. It's just something that happens, and it shows that there is value to some of these collectibles. And like you mentioned earlier, there's legacy behind them. And some people who've been holding this stuff, they might be down like 90%. If they're able to recuperate like another 10, 15% from their loss, I don't see the problem with it.
I was like you. I thought nothing of it. I'm actually surprised that this became a wider conversation on Twitter within the people in the community, because it's not the first time that I've heard of somebody passing away. And the first example that came to mind for me was Kobe Bryant and the unfortunate fatal helicopter crash. And when that happened, I remember that a lot of his memorabilia was just blowing up in price. People were buying them up like crazy. The collector items was being bought up, whether it was his jersey, his shoes, anything that they can find on eBay, really, that was Kobe Bryant. They wanted to buy it and pick it up. Now, I'm not exactly sure. Like, so to answer that question, I'm surprised that people made it a bigger deal than it really is. People are going to sell and they're going to buy no matter what when these things happen. People like to buy or sell into news, and that's what's going to happen. Now, how it affects the digital world, that's very interesting because it's so new. It may not necessarily be the same as like Kobe Bryant. Now, Kobe Bryant's obviously a bigger name, I would suggest, amongst people. So you have more people wanting to go and buy stuff at the same time. But even with, an artist like Frank Kozik and his digital collectibles, it doesn't surprise me that when they hear of these news, they want to buy it up. But then the thing with digital collectibles is that there's a big utility component to it. And I think that's the thing that concerns me personally. Like, if I were to go buy any of his random collectibles, I now know that if there was ever any kind of speculation whatsoever that there could maybe one day be some form of utility through the artist himself, what is it? The Illazillas there, they talk about that a lot, and they had to make their own NFT for that. But if I know that it's basically shut down, the door is closed, it's not going to happen because the artist is no longer here to offer a utility. So for me, I feel like if I had those collectibles, I would actually be more inclined to sell them rather than buy it, unless I'm buying the very last collectible that came out from him, or even the very last mint of the last collectible. It's the opposite of the first. Now you want the last. The last should be the more valuable. So whatever was his last offering was on VV, that last mint is his true last offering. And I think that would be something that maybe if you're somebody who's into this kind of collecting, then that would you be going for.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's also something that maybe Veve themselves can take an opportunity to, I don't know if they have access to any other future drops that they were planning with Frank, but if they do, maybe it's something that they're able to use to raise some money, maybe for the family or for a charity that Frank liked. And since there is this hype behind this project, people will want his artwork now that he's passed, and maybe some people will be willing to spend a little bit more money. It might be something that Veve can do for the better and help out. I don't know if they ever find out the cause of the passing or something like that. Maybe it's something that could help prevent future fatalities based off of whatever he passed from. I know that's not public knowledge yet.
Well, maybe they have some kind of things in development that he was supposed to be offered that isn't released yet. Maybe they could still release it, and then instead of it going to his estate, maybe the family and executors there will be okay with sending it to his favorite charity. Just one more thing I wanted to mention too was that in this article, it actually said that people wanted to price change shoes selling for $200 up to $600. So people were definitely profiting off of the death of Kobe Bryant. So anytime, I think on Veve, this is the first time this has happened. There are other artists that, God forbid, hopefully never happens again, or at least anytime soon. But it could happen where people will try to profit even though somebody has passed. And, I think if the people don't actually know the person, if they're not actually involved in that person's life, it's just kind of another day for them. They're not really in that mindset and considering the mourning that's happening on the other side. But at the end of the day, this is a marketplace. People will buy and sell, and people will most likely try to profit in every scenario whenever there's news.
Especially right now, you're in the depths of the bear market where people are starving for some kind of profit for anything. I mean, if they're able to get back into a better position for themselves, you're going to see that. You're going to expect it. And I expected it, and I never thought twice about, who are these terrible people listing their Kozik stuff? It is what it is at this point. I wanted to show a little bit of the history of some of these items here. From today. So we had the Labracorn, probably one of the more popular Kozik pieces. I actually used to own this. I think I ended up selling it for a loss around 30 something like a couple months ago when I did my big clear out. But this is today's chart. So people heard about it. Boom. So we went from 36 or 47 to 89 gems.
Wow, it doubled,
Doubled, and it's clearly, it might be people thinking about exactly what you were just mentioning about the utility being diminished. Maybe they will go ahead and do some kind of lab breeding, but I mean, the artist is not here to tell us what those breeding things would look like.
That's right.
I think it's a little bit harder for that type of thing to happen, but it looks like people are taking their profits, and some people who bought in. Maybe the good thing about people who do sell is that people who do want to hold the stuff because they really like the artist, they have the opportunity now. There's not too many things listed all the time here. Like you can see over here, only 37 of them were listed.
Not many.
That bumped up to 62. So there was opportunity for people who are real fans to jump in and grab some.
Yeah, and exactly. But it touches on the point about the breeding. Like the breeding, Frank Kozik went on a spaces with Veve, basically took a baseball bat over Veve's head and gave him a blasting. But I'm not really sure that that the breeding is going to even be on the table anymore because the artist is not here to push that issue. So who's going to do it? Veve's going to do it on their own, but they'll just tell you they're just a licensing company, right? So why would they do it on their own? So unless he has someone who can. And I don't know this, like someone who can come, in his footprint, in his, behind him and just carry that forward and maybe continue to push that vision that he maybe had. I think more likely what will happen is the breeding might really be off the table after this.
I think if they do breeding, they might honor the breeding to him because it was his idea, but it might be with a different collection. And now that we've seen crafting come out, if they can really iron down the crafting, obviously we can't have a repeat of what we just had on the weekend, but if they can iron out the crafting and we're going to find out with the gauntlet because you're going to have to craft like 6 in 1, right? So if they can make that happen.
Should we take bets? over under number of days before they fix it?
I don't know. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that it'll work out. I'm still undecided on how I'm going to do it. If I'm going to go for the regular gauntlet, if I'm going to go for the secret gauntlet, if I'm going to go for no gauntlet. I don't know. I'm still reading the marketplace, seeing how it's doing. You guys don't know. You'll see me in the market or not.
I think it's good. You're still wise to wait because once the gauntlets are available and you're that much closer, you actually might get more demand for some of these stones because now people actually want to craft them. It's becoming more and more real, right? So I think waiting.
You're right. You might have to buy the gauntlet first and then see what happens.
People might buy the gauntlet and be like, I want to do this, and they go and they buy everything else. So maybe it's not the worst idea to hold out a little bit. I don't think the price is going to drop. I don't think the high Okamoto is going to drop. If it's been holding at 800, it's going to probably hold it for a little bit longer. Really, what's going to happen is when people start burning and Thanos starts showing up, that's really when the market's going to get rejumbled. But anyways, that's a topic for another time. Guys, why don't you guys let us know what you think below about the whole topic of the death of an artist, rest in peace, Frank Kozik. And, do you believe that people profiting on this death is something that surprised you? Do you think that it's wrong to do, that you shouldn't be really involved? If someone dies, you should just not sell their stuff the day that you hear about it? for moral reasons, or if you believe that it's perfectly acceptable and actually normal and very typical that this will happen. So guys, let us know your thoughts below, and also let me know, do you believe that this is going to hurt digital collectible pricing or benefit digital collectible pricing when an artist does pass? So we'd be curious to know your thoughts. Let us know below. And if you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar, smash the subscribe button, join the Superstar fam, hit the bell notification button to get every single video every single day. We keep it coming every single day. Also, Superstar VIPs, $2.99 a month. Get the star beside your name, Ask Star spreadsheets, Ask Star giveaways, get the star in the starnaming.com, and the universe is so far out there. Join the constellation. Maybe if you join the VIP membership, join the constellation, and we'll also do advertisements for you. So if you want to become the VIPs, we will help advertise and use our platform to get the word out of what you're trying to sell. Guys, thank you all so much. We appreciate you. Take care, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye.